Greetings and welcome to another edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and today I'm going to be doing a review of The Mandalorian Season 2 up to this point. They've aired 3 episodes so far, and to help me out, I'm bringing in a friend whom I've worked on various productions with in the past. His name is Tom Izzo, and let's bring him in.
It's such an honor to be on the official Barry P. Cook channel. I mean, this is bringing me way back to 1994 from your Star Trek The Unofficial Fan Club show.
I know. We should fill anyone who might be, all 8 people who might be watching in on the history a little bit. Tom and I used to do everybody used to say it was Wayne's World. Oh, you like Wayne's World? Because it was a public access show.
Just like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was shot in a basement, just like Wayne's World. Well, it was shot in my living room at one point before you came on, and then we shot it at someone else's house. Then we eventually wound up in my basement. But anyway, that's going back to the mid to late 90s into the early 2000s.
I remember being in high school as a young lad, watching Barry P. Cook, and then one day I got the chance to visit the set. And oh boy, did that just blow my 16-year-old mind.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the presence of stardom. When I first saw you, I think it was at a screening of Star Trek Insurrection.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's Barry Cook and Mike DeFrancisco.
That's right, because the studio had called us, not the studio, the theater had called us and said that the individual theaters were in a contest between each other within the company, National Amusements, which was at the time owned by Viacom, which of course was the parent company of Paramount. So they really wanted to they were involved in a contest for, how they were going to open this movie. And so they said, we'd like to have you come down and shoot in the lobby and do all kinds of stuff, just maybe we can win the contest. So I went there a few days before. He took me up into the projection area. I saw all around the place. We talked about what I was going to do. And then, we were there that night in the lobby after the movie. So, and you were.
I was starstruck, man. What can I say? The presence of greatness, and my heart was beating out of my chest. I believe you interviewed me for my reaction.
Okay.
And I mean, that movie isn't that great. It's kind of like a mediocre episode of the TV show.
Okay. You know what? I'm goofing that up. We might have done that Insurrection, but the one I was talking about was Generations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't there for that. No.
But okay. But so we did it again, I think, for Insurrection. But and then when you came to see the show, we were doing it at someone's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
What an experience. As a young lad, I was saying to myself, gee, I hope they don't make me sit on the casting couch. And they did.
Yes. And then we switched gears. We did a magazine show basically that was about kind of like this, what I'm doing now, more about pop culture than any one particular show.
Yeah, I was kind of like your Mary Hart type person to your John Tesh. That's how we did it.
Right, and we worked in a little current events and some weird stories, affectionately known as the wacky news.
That's right. People have great memories of that. Bring it back. Let's do it on YouTube.
Right, we should. And then let's see, we worked in some current events on that too, and then we did that for a long time, and then we were doing a podcast, and
Rat Tail Digest, and then we just kind of stopped because I gave up on life. Really, I just stopped caring.
It's 2020. It's the give up on life year.
I mean, sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to give up. Like, who am I doing this for?
It's a big investment of time.
Can you swear on this?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Or will it get you demonetized?
Well, I can't monetize yet. I got to get up to.
Oh, you can't even monetize.
4,000 viewing hours by the public and 1,000 subscribers.
Good luck to you.
I'm like 0.5% of the way there.
You can do this. You got this. You totally got this.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? But this is the year of giving up on things. This is the year, I only started because I had all the time, and it is a time suck. Like, I'm only down here a half hour or so when I do one, but then the editing takes a long time, as you know.
I just came from the McDonald's drive-thru, and I ordered a 10-piece McNugget.
Right.
When I got home, It was a cinnamon roll was what they put in my bag. That how do you like? That's totally different.
Yeah, yeah. They
You,
just grabbed the wrong bag.
no, because it had another part of my order in the bag.
Oh, in the same bag.
Yes.
Bad.
How do you replace? I mean, they're really pimping out this McCafe business.
Yeah.
Not to be a shill for McDonald's here, but
Right.
when I got home, man, and I sat down in front of the football screen,
Yes.
and I'm like, all right, it is McNugget time.
Right.
And it was in a carton where I'm like, okay, yeah, McNuggets could fit in this. Kind of like one of the hamburger boxes.
Yeah.
So I flipped the lid. I'm like, this is not what I wanted. And my wife said, do you want to go back to McDonald's, hon? And I said, no, I'll just eat the cinnamon roll because I've given up.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of the history, but and we haven't done this in a long time because 2020 sucks, and we haven't had a chance to do anything, even if we were doing it. But The Mandalorian has started season 2 in the last couple of weeks, so I said, I got to get out. I've been reviewing Discovery every week, and I said I really should be reviewing The Mandalorian, but I'm not as keyed into Star Wars as, for example, you are.
Now you say The Mandalorian. That's like a low budget independent show on IFC, right?
Yeah. It's on the UHF channel. You got to put your
yes. I'm familiar with it. You know,
you've heard of it.
It's an indie hit, is what I'm told.
Yeah.
It's popular with younger audiences, that key demographic.
Yes.
Which is what the advertisers are really looking for.
Yes.
You want me to be serious now? I'm very sorry.
No, it's fine.
I haven't taken my medication yet.
Oh, that's okay.
No, Mandalorian. Yes, season 2.
Yes.
Season 2.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful we got a new show to watch during these crazy times.
I hear you. Every day I'm checking what's new on Netflix today. What's new on Hulu. But I wanted to do reviews of it because it's kind of been like I keep talking like, oh, The Mandalorian, we're gonna get to watch that, because I do, like I said, some videos that are about new stuff, and I go, oh yeah, season 2 of The Mandalorian starts XYZ date, whatever it was. But then
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, when The Mandalorian first comes out, they drop it at 4 a.m. on Thursday night. Well, it's technically Friday morning.
Right.
I'm envisioning the Barry P. Cook viewing arrangement. Are you in a Jedi robe, eating peanut M&Ms, anticipating it with a great fervor?
No.
At 3:59 a.m.
No, I did that for Picard. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night to watch Star Trek Picard on CBS.
Yeah.
But no, I don't do that for The Mandalorian. Well, part of that's because the wife watches it with me. She's a big fan of the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he's real popular. He Baby Yoda is a phenomenon. I see him on cereal boxes now.
I know, it's crazy.
And I think to myself, man, they're just printing the money with this Baby Yoda.
Oh yes.
I'm pretty sure our future currency is going to have Baby Yoda on it.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So we watch it. I don't know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But I kept saying, I should start reviewing because it's, it was like the elephant in the room that I wasn't talking about for 3 weeks, even though it was already out. And people said to me, you got to review The Mandalorian. So I thought to myself, well, I can, but I know there are things I'm not going to see that someone who's a little more into Star Wars will see. I was the Star Wars nerd when I was 12.
Barry, it's a spaghetti western kind of a show. They have the flute music that goes.
So I thought of you. I know Tom is more into Star Wars than I, and he'll catch things that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the show, but a lot of the episodes, they kind of follow the same formula where it's, okay, what is Mando's thing he has to fight this week? Like, what sort of space creature does he have to take down to, prevent Baby Yoda from falling into the wrong hands? And it's gotten a little, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but I kind of do want to say cookie cutter.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the same sort of routine.
Yeah, it's the same beats, if you will,
right.
The way that the show has been so far. What I do really like about the show is that it's sort of forging new ground in Star Wars. It doesn't, necessarily rely on your, your Darth Vader, your Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's that element of Star Wars that I really enjoy, just the dark, seedy underworld. Like that was an area of Star Wars I was hoping that they would explore for the longest time. And
Yeah,
they are with this show.
Although some people have said in their reviews that it relies way too much on the whole member berries situation. That, like, for example, the season 2, the first couple episodes, he was on Tatooine.
There are member berries being dispensed to the faithful Star Wars fanboys and girls. Yes, you've got your Tusken Raiders, you've got your Banthas.
Right.
There's droids that are from the original trilogy.
Yeah. R5D4.
R5D4, the little red guy. Yep. Yeah. There is that, but it's just a cool show. Like that's like when my significant other was asking me for a review. That's what I tend to say. I'm like, it's a cool show. Review by Tom Izzo. Like, right. I enjoy it. It's for what it is. We're not watching a Shakespearean play.
Yeah.
But it's shot really well.
Yeah.
I think the direction has been spot on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can put Giancarlo Esposito in anything, and that guy's terrifying. What a great actor.
You're not in it much. So far.
He was in towards the end of season 1. Right. And he was in the last episode a little bit.
Yeah.
On the hollow communication.
Yes.
Yes.
What was I going to say? I think the thing about this show is I kind of like the whole Monster of the Week thing. The tired part of it is that it's, Baby Yoda's in peril again. So hopefully they get away from that. Kind of, and then he just leaves the baby with random people. Like,
where does Baby Yoda leave his presence, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. He does wield the Force, so.
And there was a controversial Baby Yoda moment in not this last episode, but the one before.
Yes.
Where he committed genocide.
A couple times.
Yeah, and there was a big debate about that. He ate the frog woman's eggs.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. I mean, that's 2 weeks ago. So he ate the frog woman's eggs. Yeah. Do you equate that to like just sitting down and having a breakfast sandwich like you and I would do?
I mean,
or would you say that's more along the lines of he deliberately murdered children that were unborn, the last of a generation?
Yeah, it depends on whether or not you think he understood what was going on.
Mandalorian, like the first time he did it, Mandalorian warned him and said, hey, don't do that.
Yeah,
but then he did it again at least 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah.
And they seem to sort of understand each other. Yeah. I know Mandalorian can understand Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
So now there's a conspiracy theory that Baby Yoda is evil.
He's a Sith.
I mean, he did choke out Cara Dune. Remember that?
I know he's done some stuff with his forciness.
He choked the lady, the MMA lady.
Oh, right. Gina
Carano.
Yes. That was in season 1.
Yeah, he's done that. I guess he's a baby, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, he's not Yoda.
No.
Can we stop calling him Baby Yoda?
They call him Yoda. Child.
What if it is Yoda? What if they did time traveling and they took Master Yoda?
That would be extremely lame.
Why does the bad guy want him so badly?
I don't know. I wonder if they're ever going to explain that.
Doesn't he say towards the end of season 1, you really don't know what you have here. This is something that you don't even understand.
Yeah.
He could be a Sith Lord. He could be a little magical Sith Lord.
Yes. It's possible.
How's that for a review? Are we done now?
No. What do you think about Timothy Oliphant in episode 1 playing the Marshal? He's
a beautiful man.
Yeah,
he's chiseled, and I just love the guy. How can you not like Timothy Oliphant?
He is the best. Do you know how many things he's played a marshal in?
Oh, yeah, Deadwood and Justified.
Deadwood, Justified. In the new season of Fargo, he's a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah, he kind of plays similar
And in this, he was the
characters.
Marshal.
He's in The Office. He's hilarious on The
Was he
Office.
in the house? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
He was very funny in Santa Clarita Diet.
He's just lovable. I love the guy. The episode that he was in, it was good. I enjoyed it. He's very charismatic, and I just like to stare into his eyes.
There you go. I thought the Boba Fett armor was ill-fitted upon his frame.
Yeah, I mean, it was clear that, he just sort of picked that armor up. It wasn't his.
Right.
What I want to know is, how did Boba Fett survive? And maybe that isn't Boba Fett, that guy that they cut to.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of those clone type guys.
Yes, a lot.
So it might not necessarily be Boba, but how would the Jawas get the armor out of the Sarlacc pit? Are we going to learn that?
I don't know.
These are the burning questions that we as Star Wars fans need to know.
Yes, we do need to know. But I thought that first episode was good. Aside from him not fitting into the armor very well, it looked a little strange. Then what was the second episode? The second episode, was the one where he has to escort the frog lady.
Frog lady with the giant spider invasion.
Yeah.
When the frog lady is like, what are you thinking? First of all, you're just leaving your precious eggs off to the side.
Yeah.
Like if those were my precious eggs in the last of a generation, the egg canister would be on my lap.
Yes, right. I don't know what that was about.
Then she's like, I'm going to take a nude bath in this random cave.
Right. Because she was cool.
You don't know where this cave is. You don't know where you are. What are you doing? Did you find that what is this bitch doing?
Yeah.
It's her fault.
Yes. And people have been saying in other reviews that I've read that it didn't seem to make sense that they couldn't go to light speed because of the eggs.
Yeah, I was a little unclear on that. So they couldn't go to light speed because the eggs would not survive? Is that what the reason was?
And then they're not strapped down. They're flying all around and
And she's letting the child.
Yes.
The child. Eat the eggs like they're little party poppers.
Yeah, I don't think she knew, but why wasn't it locked? Why could a child open it?
These are the questions that I would hope J.J. Abrams answers in episode 11.
Right.
Are they still going to make movies? Or did they just ruin the movie franchise?
I don't know. There are jokes, that the star has a broken back from carrying the franchise.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't write that. But so no, I thought that episode was great because of the it was a little more actiony, I thought. The first episode was you had the kite dragon there, but
Yep.
But it was kind of slow moving. It was a slow moving, thing. They're kind of standing around waiting.
See, I kind of like that. I like that they let the episodes breathe, that you have time to sort of live in the moment. Right. Unlike what they did in the sequel trilogy where it was, Rey! Explosion! Explode! Why is the Emperor still alive? Oh, never mind that. He's here. The episodes they flow better than any of those new movies did.
Yeah, right.
I just want to live in the Star Wars universe, and this show does a good job of immersing you. Is that a word? Immersing?
Immersing, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel immersed.
You feel immersed? That's good.
I like the cantina. I know it's a member berry and it's shameless fan service, but
even the bartender in the first episode, was a member berry.
Was it the same bartender?
No, Weequeg.
Weequeg?
Or Queequeg? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the Jabba skiff situation in Return of the Jedi.
It's the same guy?
Same guy, yeah.
Okay. See, I missed that.
Yeah.
A lot of Easter eggs that I don't necessarily pick up on right away.
Right. So, but I thought that was interesting. And episode 2, there was the giant spider thing.
Once again, a monster of the week. He's gonna fight a horde of spiders. Those X-Wing pilots were dicks. They were total dicks.
They let him go, though.
Yeah, but they left his ass there.
Oh yeah, right. When they left, yeah, they
Yeah,
did there, yeah,
they
and
could see that his ship was effed up.
yeah, and a civilian was there with him, like
Like, yeah, thanks. Okay, see you later.
yeah. Bye. At least in this episode, he wasn't just trying to protect Yoda, the child. He
Yeah,
was trying to protect the woman.
yeah. So, you know, the way the show it's sort of it follows a paint by numbers a little bit,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily mind.
No, it's so much better than the last three movies, and so much better than like Star Trek Discovery.
I just like to watch the end credits with the beautiful
Yeah,
art.
artwork. Yeah.
It's gorgeous,
Yes.
gorgeous.
And then in this third episode, they went to Trask. Is that the name of the planet?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know.
With the calamaris there.
Yes, Admiral Akbar's people.
Yes, Admiral Akbar's race.
It was a
And
sea shanty town.
yeah, yes.
They're
You know,
very
I thought
salty.
weird at first. Like I said, I watched it with my wife, and I said, "Why are the fish fishing?"
I was kind of thinking that too. Like, are they cannibalizing their own?
Yeah, and then
What's happening here?
and then my wife said, "Well, fish eat other fish
They do.
in the ocean."
They do.
So I just thought that was a little strange that you.
It was strange, and the chowder that had what the
Yeah,
hell was that? That thing
like
that
the octopus thing in it.
yeah, it reminded me of the thing that popped its head up in A New Hope in
Oh,
the trash compactor.
in the trash compactor. Yeah.
I know it wasn't that, but the way that it
Yes,
sort of popped up and surprised the child.
a little bit. The thing about fish eating fish, though, is in the ocean, the fish are, sentient, quote unquote, but they're not like us. They don't have an intellect.
Right, they're not pondering their existence.
Correct. But
They're not standing in, a Dunkin' Donuts line
right.
thinking, "Oh God, I'm really aging a lot today."
Right, but the beings on Trask are thinking, beings that have an intellect, and they're self-aware, but they're eating their own kind.
That and they kind of remind me of Rhode Island mechanic shops where, they quote a large price and then they do a shitty job.
Yeah.
He's like, "I paid you 1,000 credits for this," and the ship is like, there's strings tied up and there's, it is janky as hell. So yeah, that's the parallel that I found while watching it. Gee, this looks like a Rhode Island repair shop.
You know what? But backing up a little bit, because I wrote notes. Let me grab my notes. I found a couple of things that were a little odd. Like when he gets to the planet and he has to land, he almost burns up the ship on entry.
It was a rough landing.
But now, don't these ships have heat shields? I know his ship was messed up, but like,
I don't care about the heat shields.
Okay.
I suspended my disbelief of the heat shields.
Okay.
So who cares? Who gives a shit?
Right. Okay. So I just wanted to ask you about that. So then he's on the fishing boat, and those guys double cross him. Basically, they kick the child into the pit with that.
Oh, those guys were dicks.
Yeah, they were dicks.
They got what they deserved, though.
They did.
They
And
did.
then the other Mandalorians land, and I was like, "Ooh, Lady Mando." And then she takes off the helmet, and it's Katie Sackhoff. I didn't recognize her at first. And then I'm like, "Oh, that's Katie Sackhoff." And then I'm like, and they said her name, which I forgot her name already.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. I'm like, I know that.
Which
name.
is a character from one of those animated
Yes, two different.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I never watched those,
You
so I don't know anything about Bo-Katan. All I'm learning about her is
I
through The
recognize.
Mandalorian.
All right, I recognized the name, and then I found out later. Oh yeah, that's right. The character from the Clone Wars cartoon, which I did watch, and she was also in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon, which I didn't watch.
Yeah.
And Katie Sackhoff did the voice.
She did.
Yeah, so that's very cool that they brought her into the live action.
I'm a fan of Katie Sackhoff. Do I wish that maybe she was playing an original character? Yeah, kind of. The fact that they're now, instead of having this new world, now we're plucking characters from the animated properties. It just, why can't it be its own thing? You know what I'm trying to say here?
I do, but you know what? I think the two cartoons did a lot of work expanding the Mandalorian sort of I don't want to say mystique, but the whole Mandalorian situation. Kind of
Okay.
like Next Gen and DS9 did with Klingons.
I tried to watch those cartoons,
Yeah,
and me as an adult man,
yeah.
I I didn't dig the animation. It took me out of it, you know?
Oh
The
yeah.
way that they animated it with like the square line. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be of any help to you when it comes to the animated Star Wars because I bailed on it.
Well, the last 4 episodes of the final season were really good. It was like watching a good Star Wars movie. But
Well,
remember,
why can't they just do that with a Star Wars movie?
yeah,
Why didn't they do that?
I don't know. But the whole lore of Mandalore and the Mandalorians was expanded upon greatly
Okay.
in the Clone Wars, and I'm guessing also more so a little bit more in Rebels, which I didn't watch. So I think because the show is about a Mandalorian, they're trying to continue, to build on and to use the Mandalorian lore as meat for the show.
Okay.
And so to that end, I think they figured, well, we have this character, and it's a canon character, so we'll bring it forward. And Katie Sackhoff is a draw.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm a big fan.
let me plug her YouTube channel for a minute. She has a cool YouTube channel where she shows her workouts. She shows crazy things that she goes and does with.
I mean, she looks phenomenal. She looks
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
she does crazy things with Trisha Heffler or Helfer.
Who played Six?
Yes.
Yes.
She'll go and do goofy things with her. Then she did one where it was a reaction to her watching herself in her first movie, which was one of the Friday the 13th, I think, or one of the Halloweens or something. I forget, but she was in one of those. So anyway, she has a cool YouTube channel. So I was very glad to see her. I didn't know she was doing that. I knew she was doing season 2 of A Different World or Different Life or whatever that show is that she did, the space show. I didn't know she was working on The Mandalorian, so I was surprised.
He was kept a secret for a long time.
You're right.
I knew before the episode that she would be in it.
Oh, I didn't.
I saw some promotional image or whatever,
Okay.
which kind of spoiled it for me. But
Right.
there's a lot of backstory. I didn't watch the animateds.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your word for it that they're doing this because they've already built that aspect of the Star Wars world.
That's how it seems.
They're drawing in with it. But when she took the helmet off and she's like, I'm Bo-Katan of Clan Crazy or whatever, Clan Cries, I don't know.
Yeah.
That meant nothing to me. I'm like, okay, why do you have your helmet off? This is not how Mandalorian is supposed to act.
Yeah, her helmet was off the whole time in the anime.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, it was? Oh, in the animated. Okay.
In the animated, yeah. So then I wrote down an Imperial ship, ? Like, this is 5 years after Jedi. And why is the Empire still around?
Why is that still a thing? Was a question that I asked during the episode. Like, who's paying these stormtroopers?
Yeah, right.
Like, I get Moff Gideon has some capital, so he's probably financing this.
Right.
But, like, why do they still care about the Empire?
Yeah.
The officer that takes the cyanide capsule and kills himself.
Yeah, which was...
When they say, long live the Empire. What does he give a shit?
Yeah, right.
What's his motivation?
But they kept the uniforms. The stormtroopers were the same armor.
I guess it's elements of the Empire. When you have a large body like the Empire, branches of it are still around.
I guess it's kind of like modern day militia.
Yeah.
Or paramilitary groups that are kind of disjointed but still around. I guess that makes sense. I was a little dubious about how the 4 of them took on a whole squadron of stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's a Star Wars suspend your disbelief moment. Like, I know that there are these trained badasses, but I mean, we all know stormtroopers have really shitty aim.
Right, and one of the Mando guys says that. He's like, they can't hit the side of a bantha.
Yeah, it was... Again, we're in this area of Star Wars where when they took the ship like that was reminiscent of a lot of other movies that I've seen thousands of times,
including Star Wars.
Just a heist, sort of a Ocean's.
Well, I kept thinking I kept thinking of when Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie are running from the stormtroopers on the Death Star. Towards the end of A New Hope.
Yeah.
That's what it brought to mind.
They have these hyper choreographed scenes that when they start doing that, and they're like, there's all these complicated blocking moments in the fight scenes, it sort of takes me out of it because it's not very human. Like if you and I are going to get into a bar fight, not to say that we would, but if we did, you would see emotion. Like I would be flailing wildly, and it would be believable. When they go through these complicated jump, duck, high kick, down, like the fucking lightsaber shit they did in the prequels, it takes me right out because it is not realistic.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Let's see. What do I have after that? Oh, and of course, the person he's going to see, the information he finally gets is that he has to meet Ahsoka,
who is another one of these animated broads.
Yes.
Okay.
Really great character. Really great.
Okay,
character.
I'll take your word. I know people love her.
Yeah. Like the 7th season of the animated show was years after the 6th season. I think the season.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think the last season was season 7, but there was a big gap. And at the end of season 6, she's kind of like, she gets accused of murder, and she's cleared. But at the end, she's like disillusioned with the whole Jedi thing, the whole Rebel Alliance thing, and she just sort of leaves. She abandons the Alliance. And
I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be in that mess.
Right. And towards the end of season 6, she comes back. Season 7, rather. And then the last 4 episodes involve her heavily. But they're, I guess, going to bring her back now on the live show.
Okay.
And she's going to be played by Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I love her. She's great. We'll see.
Right.
But
I really, really came to like the character, and I was wicked bummed when at the end of season 6, it seemed like she wasn't going to be, a Jedi anymore. She wasn't going to be in the show anymore. And I was like, oh damn, that sucks. So I was glad she came back in season 7, and I'm psyched that they're bringing her on to Mandalorian. So,
Dave Filoni, who's one of the executive producers on Mandalorian.
Oh, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he in charge of Rebels and Clone Wars and all the animated block?
That would make sense.
Yeah. So it makes sense that he's drawing on, these aspects of Star Wars that he helped create. The only thing is I don't give a shit about the animated Star Wars. So when they bring these people in, I hear a lot of excitement from other people like, oh my God, Ahsoka and Bo-Katan. I'm like, all right, I'm going to learn as I go.
Yeah.
And let's just hope the episodes maintain the same level of quality.
But that's The Mandalorian. I think we've covered so far where we're up to with these.
Good, but not great. I enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold a candle to A New Hope or Empire or even Jedi. You'll never get that again.
No.
So you just have to kind of buy into that, which I have.
Yeah, I think it's a hell of a better show than Star Trek Discovery.
This is the best Star Wars since the original trilogy.
Yes.
It's way better than the shitty prequels.
Yes.
It's way better than the shitty sequel trilogy.
Yes.
Because you have talented people making the show. John Favreau, Dave Filoni, that Taika Waititi guy, I guess, is talented.
Yeah.
Ron Howard's daughter, what's her name? She's directed 2 episodes.
Yes, I noticed that. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her episodes are good. It's entertainment coming to me in the year of COVID, and it's Star Wars. So I'm going to just watch it automatically.
Yeah.
And B, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It is.
That's my review.
Well, there you go. I concur.
Put that on a label and sell that to your YouTube people.
There you go.
So sell this segment. How much money are you going to get from this segment?
Oh, zero. Zero.
Send me half of that, please.
So yeah, hopefully going forward, I might review these episodes one at a time. I shouldn't have dragged my feet about it because what we just had there was a big old disjointed conversation about the first 3 episodes up to this point. But I think we covered the ground.
People don't want to watch a word-for-word recap of each episode because they would just go watch the episodes.
Right, yes.
So the way we did it is we broke it down into a nice stew, and we're just stirring that stew. I think you did a fine job.
Exactly.
And I'll be glad to come back anytime
Okay, good.
you want my stupid opinions.
All right, well, this Friday there's a new episode. I'll be watching it with the wife at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, but we'll see how that goes, and then we'll see when I'm going to review it, and perhaps I shall reach out with the Force.
I'll be watching it 4 a.m. with Jedi robes on, with my Force Effects lightsaber, and my Stormtrooper helmet on, which doesn't really fit me, and it hurts to wear it, but I will wear it.
All right, cool. Send me a picture of that.
The helmet like digs into my fat head.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but it looks good.
There you go. All right,
It's
well,
really good.
I thank you for joining the discussion, Mr. Izzo, and I usually close my show by saying peace and long life, but this time I'm going to say may the Force be with you.
And I'm going to say Leonard Nimoy is the only real Spock.
There you go. Okay, cool.